For Hamilton, the context of STEM sits within the context of space. So we have Hamilton Space School. It opened last September to coincide with IAC, the International Aeronautical Conference. Situating STEM within space gives us the opportunity to provide students with learning initiatives that really reflect where we're moving as a state. The space industry is becoming huge. We're leaning towards it being $1 billion industry. And so when we talk about preparing students for the lives that they will live and the roles that they will work within, space offers an incredible opportunity for them. Working in space doesn't mean working for NASA. It doesn't mean working for defense. There are more and more startup companies associated with space happening now than it's ever before. And so Hamilton Space School has given us the opportunity to partner with those industries. I think being connected with the real world allows students to see opportunities for themselves. They can visualize what they could be. There's an idea that you can't aim to be something that you can't see. And so by doing these real world connections, you're actually building in mentors and role models and showing that there are people out there who struggle with this every day. Quite often students say, I can't solve that because I'm this or I'm that or I'm not the other. But when you see professionals out there who are experts in the field, still struggling with those problems, still learning, still pushing, still trying to get to the right answer, you're role modeling that lifelong learning, and students are then encouraged to do the same. There are a number of reasons why industry would want to partner with schools. The reality is industry needs to employ people, and every single person they employ has come from a school. And so on one level, by working with schools, they're actually considering future-proofing their own workforce. The second thing, industries, particularly large industries, have social responsibilities. They actually commit, and their boards commit to doing a certain number of things, a certain number of activities with the community. Schools can tap into that community obligation. When I build industry partnerships, there are a number of strategies that I use. So it might be that I've gone to a particular conference to target people who were there. So the tech conference at Hybrid World Adelaide, for instance, I went there last year and then I was able to connect with some of those speakers, and I'm still using those connections now, and I've done that with previous conferences as well. So don't be afraid to approach these people at conferences. I also use LinkedIn for professional networking a lot. So I'll connect with people, I'll reach out to them, send them a message, invite them to the school, talk about what we're doing, demonstrate how the activities and experiences we're creating in classrooms resonate or connect with the industry that those people are working in, and then ask if they're willing to partner, share resources. Quite often it's about problem finding. Give us the problems that you're trying to work on so that we can take those same problems to our students. When looking to build those partnerships, PhD candidates also have a social responsibility. They have a set number of hours for sort of community engagement. And so often if you can find a PhD researcher in the area that you're teaching about or the topic that you're covering, they will quite often willingly help. You can do a search on LinkedIn. PhD candidates quite often list themselves as PhD candidates. So if you search for the topic that you're interested in, so you might search for aerospace engineering, for instance. You can contact universities and say, do you currently have PhD candidates who are researching this areas? And just keep your eyes open, really. When creating an industry partnership, negotiate how much time an industry professional might spend with you. It might be that they're actually not going to have direct contact with a class, and they're instead going to give you access to resources or materials or hardware or information. They might be willing to take class tours. They might come in and do a presentation, or they might come in and say, we'll work with your students. I'll come in, I'll give you 1 hour a week up for 6 weeks as we're going through this project. So negotiate with the professional. One thing I would say when approaching an industry professional, know what you want. Industry professionals are busy people. If you don't go into the conversation knowing what you want to ask for, they're not going to be able to help you, and they're not going to have time to try and work out what you want.